It's your boy Craig 1K. I'm hitting you up today. It is Thursday, 12 a.m. I'm posting this video. Literally, we got a couple of days into our super fantastic, super wild card game where Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be facing the Dallas Cowboys. They will be at Raymond James Stadium at 8:15 p.m. Monday night. It is the wild card game, so you have to win or your ass is going home. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, after this fiasco of a season, made the playoffs. It wasn't pretty, folks. Through all my years of watching the Buccaneers, this has definitely been a season you have to remember. Tom Brady had a couple of memorable games where he had some comebacks late in the fourth quarter, but it was traditionally just a bad football team. And the reason that they're so bad is because the offense is so inept. When you want to break down the three issues with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, number one, Tom Brady's scared to take a hit. In the modern NFL, you got to sit back there. Sometimes you got to make a throw and you're going to get hit. So there lies the problem with having a 45-year-old quarterback and a offensive line that isn't, I don't want to say they're a bad offensive line because Brady barely gets sacked, but they're not the top tier. So that's one of the biggest problems. Number two, play calling. We'll get on the offensive coordinator in a little bit, but the play calling is so bad and so predictable that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers usually get themselves in third and long situations where they just simply can't convert. They don't get enough yards. They usually get stopped at the 4th and 3, 4th and 2, and it's just not enough to win football games. That's the number two issue with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Now, the number three issue, and the one that really irritates me, is that they have absolutely no running game. We have one of the worst running games, if not the worst, in the modern NFL. They average maybe like 2 yards a carry, if that, 2.3, something around that, range. They don't get any yards. Brady can't get any play action in, and that makes the offense very one-dimensional. Now, you talk about trying to win a modern NFL game with that type of offense, and you talk about how, you're not going to win much. You're not. You just can't simply win games when you're scoring 16 and 18 points, and that's why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ended the season 8-9, hanging on by a damn thread to go to the playoffs. They don't know how to adjust. Brady doesn't trust the line. He gets the ball out in 2 seconds. If he gets it out, Donovan Smith's holding. It's just a collection of errors that come together that cause this offense to be very stagnant. And in the wild card playoffs, you can't have that. They're going to have to go out and they're going to have to score points. And they got to put it together. We got a Super Bowl staff. They have to put it together where Brady and the offense can get some points. You have Mike Evans. You got Chris Godwin. You can pray to the Lord that Julio Jones won't be made out of fiberglass and he'll play. You got Scotty Miller. Make it work. You got Otten. Get the tight ends involved. Get the running game going at all costs, because that's really the only way that you walk out of this football game with the win. The running game needs to go. The first time the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played Dallas, Leonard Fournette had over 120 yards. Had over 120 yards at the line of scrimmage. So how do you think you're going to win? Lenny, we need playoff Lenny. We need something. Dallas is reeling right now, but our offense has to step it up. If our offense can put up some points, who knows? Who knows how good we can be in the playoffs? But we got to put up points. You ain't going to San Francisco and you ain't winning no game 12 to 11. This is the modern NFL, and we're playing like we're the 2001, 1999 Buccaneers. This is dreadful to watch. I've been to multiple games. You want to pull your eye sockets out of your head by the time you're done with the game, only to be walking downstairs and Tom Brady all of a sudden can put 2 touchdowns back to back and win the game. That's what goes on this season, or they get mollywopped. And it's not like they don't have the talent. It's not like this team doesn't have Devin White, Levante David, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, Vita Vea, Mike Edwards, Antoine Whitfield. Logan Ryan plays when he ain't hurt worth a damn. He gets turnovers. They got the talent to be a good football team, but the subparness of this team is just putting it together and coaching. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Now, this season, I think the defense got way too much criticism. And I was one of the people earlier in the season that was criticizing the defense. But with an offense that inept, it's extremely hard to hold. Defense goes out there and gives it their all, and they give it their all, and they give it their all, and they give it their all, and they got the score, at 13 or 14 or maybe 17. And then for the really talented teams like Cincinnati and the really talented teams like the Ravens, they can't hold anymore. Now, they can hold against subpar Arizona Cardinals. They can hold against the New Orleans Saints, the Carolina Panthers. They can hold against them, but they can't hold against the big guys. That shouldn't have to be on them. Offense needs to start giving the defense some drives. Tampa Bay sucks at third downs. I'm an honest fan. They suck at third downs, and I'm getting sick of watching that. If you can't convert on third downs, you ain't going to win much football games. You're going to be on the couch. It's crunch time now. This isn't the time to play and look around and all of a sudden you're looking at the scoreboard like a deer in freaking headlights because you're not putting the effort in. Todd Bowles needs to get this team together. Defensively, they need to have the communication down pat. The number one thing that Tampa Bay messed up with when they were in the playoffs last season was communication. After that Rams play with Sean Murphy, Bunting, and Antoine Winfield, I couldn't even know what the fuck to think. Excuse me, but I was appalled by it. Todd Bowles, it was a preview of what was to come. They got to have their situational defense together. They got to get it together. They cannot allow, Dallas to catch them lacking. They cannot allow big ass run. No, none of that. You know what it is with Dallas. Tony Pollard. They want Tony Pollard. They want Zeke going. That's what gets them going. You put the game in Dak's hand by shutting them down. If you shut down the running game, you put the game in Dak's hand. Look at what Dak has been. Interceptions against the Houston Texans. Barely won that. The loss against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The loss against the Commanders mollywopped them. Dak ain't good. Dak ain't nothing special. He's a 4th-round pick making top-tier money to get his ass whooped in the wild card. I'm not going to sit here and just be amazed and say, oh my God, it's Dak Prescott. I have something to fear. No one has anything to fear with Dak Prescott. You know what Dallas's game plan is. Todd Bowles, do you want to keep a job? It'd be nice to win a wild card game. You're at home. Give us something to cheer about. Fast starts. Don't come in here and have Brady in here with 6-3 and outs. And that ain't gonna work. Not against Dallas. Not this time around. You stop the run. That's the first thing you do when you play Dallas. And the fact that I know this and the people that are sitting on their couch eating their potato chips know this, Bowles needs to know this. And Leftwich ass is gone after this. Excuse my language. But why you employed by this flag? Why you employed by this? You work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the job is to win the football game. And win it now. Defensively, they leave a lot to be desired. Devin White's up and down. Everyone's up and down. And it's hard. We need them to take the leadership this playoff. This playoffs need to be about defense. Defense wins championships. We know this. Set the tone in Dallas. No breathing room. None. Man up. Don't let them get these big catches. Don't let them slant you to death. We need Carl Davis, if he's playing, I'm praying to the heavens that he is. Jamel Dean, Sean Murphy, Bunting. Everybody needs to play strategic. Everybody needs to play in form. This can't be one of those lackadaisical games. You go home if you lose this one. We 8-9. We ain't supposed to be here. But we're here for a reason. And I don't want to be here, go and watch this football game, because I will be watching it live, and see my team get their butts kicked on the field. I want to see a good football game. I want to see my head coach have my football team prepared. I need to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win. Now, you look at the stats on paper, Dallas light years better than us, but it's not as easy as looking at that. You take a look at Tampa Bay, they have the 23rd offense. Right now, our defense is ranked overall like 20th, but we're actually pretty good against the pass. Just injuries here and there. We're not that bad of a defense. But yards-wise, you're not going to throw a lot of yards on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We play pretty strategic. Can't really send pass rushers like that because we're never playing from a huge lead. A lot of times we're playing from behind. So it kind of messes up with the strategy of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But offensively, we need more points. No huddle would be great. Although if you did watch the Falcons game, you'll realize that the touchdown that he threw to Kyle Rudolph actually wasn't a no huddle, but just a regular pace, offensive drive. But no huddle is something that needs to be implemented more in the Buccaneers game plan against the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons is hungry. He wants to sack Brady. Micah got a mouth on him. Micah think he liked that. That's why he got his ass chip blocked by Leonard Fournette. But we're not going to speak on week one. We need to speak on this week, the wild card super weekend. Micah Parsons is hungry. Dorrance Armstrong is hungry. Dallas has a decent pass rush. If they don't come out flat, they can beat you. It's about what are our boys going to do up front. We need the offensive line to play hard, tough, strong, physically, mentally, and morally straight. That's what we need right now. Our offensive line has to be top tier. I'm looking at Hainsey. I'm looking at 76. Donovan Smith, don't hold. Keep it under wraps, man. Don't hold. We can't have penalties. And if all of you guys who are watching this podcast, you realize who continues to get holds and continues to get penalties, and we've been saying this since the Winston years, and we've been saying this since this year, since Arians, since Bowles, it's the same thing. When are we going to get rid of Donovan Smith? Comment down below if you believe Donovan Smith should go. I think he should. I think we need to replace. He's going to be $18 million. We need a replacement. He's going to be $18 million against the cap next year. I'm not paying $18 million to get hold and hold galore. So he needs to improve his play or leave. I'm not sure. But anyways, that's beside the point. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are facing the Dallas Cowboys this Monday. The keys to winning this football game, plain and simple, stopping the run. Can Bowles do it? He's left a lot to be desired. We had Bruce Arians, who I was a fan of. Bruce steps down, Tom Brady retires, Bowles comes in, and then all of a sudden it's just crazy. And Todd Bowles started off the season 2-0. I thought it was going in the right direction, but he lacks clock management just like he did in New York. He lacks game awareness, and he's just not that good of a motivator. But I'm not on the field. He might motivate the hell out of Levante. He might motivate the hell out of, Devin White. I don't see it. And from the couch coaches, at least, that's what I like to call me and the fans, we don't see it. And a little bit of that does matter. I mean, you got to motivate something. You got to get your guys riled up. This is a talented football team that should have not been 8-9. And a lot of it has to do with that sick, disgusting man, Byron Leftwich. He's so smug with it, he don't give a damn about our opinions about his offense. He says his offense is good. He says his offense ain't that bad. I have went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers football games, 2020, 2021, watched them put up 40 points with their eyes closed. You would have thought Stevie Wonder was everybody on that field. He was the quarterback, the wide receiver, the way they just did it at ease. And this season, they can barely score 10. Suckup should be the MVP because he kicking every point. And he says nothing's wrong with the offense. Denial. It's a river, and you need to go sail up a goal. Because next season, rather it be Tom Brady or rather I put on quarterback, nobody is going to sit there and watch that inept offense play on the field where you can only get 16 and you can only get 17 points. We ain't watching that. We ain't doing that. We need a better offensive game plan. There are a lot of coordinators, and I'll be releasing a video with some staff updates that we can do that. We can bring ourselves back to a dominant offense in a later date. But there are a lot of better players that we can use. But we stuck with them now. Leftwich. Don't be predictable. Air it out. The Buccaneers were built to pass. Air it out. Tom Brady can drop back. Air it out. Brady, you can take a hit. You can take one or two now. You do nothing but eat protein. You drink protein shakes all day. You can take a hit. I mean, you got to for the playoffs, man. You gotta get out there. We gotta grind a win out. Dallas ain't no pushover. We can simply win this football game by just playing strategic ball. Stopping the run is going to force Dak to throw. You man up. He's going to mess up. He's still making mental mistakes with CeeDee Lamb in week 17. They don't even run the right routes half the time. You can see them and they're blaming each other. It's ridiculous. It's not going to be hard to do, but we have to play strategical football. And what's to say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they beat, the Dallas Cowboys, they don't continue to play good? This is the beginning. But it has to be won. It has to be. Now, when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the Dallas Cowboys, what would the score prediction be? My score prediction is Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26, Dallas Cowboys 17. I think the Buccaneers will get themselves a couple touchdowns, get a couple field goals, force Dak to turn the ball over, and get just enough to eke out a win. That's my personal opinion. I want you to drop your score predictions below. We will be breaking down a more in-depth game plan to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Dallas Cowboys in a future video. But I do want to say this. For all that's been said negative about Bowles, we do have to appreciate the fact that at the end of the day, he took the division that he had, albeit not a good one, and he was the last man standing with Tom Brady, like anyone should be. So we have to congratulate Todd Bowles in a small essence for making the playoffs. But I do think he's not that good of a coach. I think with Byron Leftwich and him together, it's like Ernie and, from Sesame Street and whoever the dude. It's just two sherms, just two people who have absolutely no idea what they're doing when put together. If you give Bowles a competent OC, maybe like Todd Monken from Georgia, somebody that can really get the, who used to coordinate for us, that can really get the ball down the field, maybe Bowles can carry himself from an 8-9 coach to an 11-5, because they might be a nightmare next year if Tom Brady doesn't come back and they don't get themselves a quarterback. Tampa Bay might be screwed. And I'm not joking. Kyle Trask looked like who done it, why done it, and who the hell did it, and why. It was just bad. I mean, he looked bad. Trask wasn't making good throws, just throwing it out there, just like, oh, you catch it, you catch it. And nobody was catching it. He looked like crap. Tampa can't win football games like that. We damn sure can't win the division. Not with Carolina possibly getting a quarterback, New Orleans having the defense they have, and Atlanta seems to be on the up and coming. We got to have better football than that. I mean, are you kidding me? So we got a lot of, Tampa Bay Buccaneers have an important future coming up. Like I said, we'll be breaking that down in the future. But we've got a lot at stake this week that can really turn our offseason either positive or it can turn it negative. Because if we lose this game, Brady might say, I don't know if I want to come back. And then maybe Blaine Gabbert starts next season and it gets really scary from there. So I want you guys to stay tuned. We're going to continue to break this down. This is part 1 of the Dallas preview. Again, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can win this game. As the injury report comes out, I'll be releasing a little bit more in-depth review. I'll be having a special guest on the Keeping It 1K podcast. I want everyone to join and watch it. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to follow Keeping It 1K podcast or follow Craig, that's CREG.1K on Instagram. And you can always, DM me with Buccaneers questions and I'll check them. Or you can, put your questions under here and I'll look at them. Tom Brady, look at them. Mike Evans, look at them. It's all about loyalty. It's all about respect. And it's all about these Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Dallas Cowboys. It's your boy Craig 1K. Hit me up.